Welcome back, everyone, to another Q&A office hour and strategy call. I'm Jeannie Petrucci, registered dietitian nutritionist, culinary coach, and founder of Living Plate RX. I'm super excited to be here with you today. We are back to and on our regular schedule, which means that the summertime kind of threw us for a loop just a little bit. But we are back on schedule to host these Q&A calls every 2 weeks. And in between the Q&A office hour calls, Karen Reiser, who is a valued member of our community and also helps us with discovery calls and coaching calls, she is holding coaching calls in between. So there is at least one opportunity per week for you to get the support that you need. So today I am here to support you in this way with our office hour and strategy call. For those of you who are new to this call, welcome. Typically the format is that we will open with a conversation about a content and or marketing strategy, something that can have a significant impact on your practice and practice growth. And then we move on to frequently asked questions that have been coming in since the last time we had a call. I'm just going to do a quick tech check to make sure that we're on here and that you can hear me. Yep, you can hear me. Terrific. All right. Terrific. Stacy, thank you for joining me. Good to see you here, Stacy, as always. All right, so today is our Q&A office hour and strategy call. It's going to be our last one for this month, but in 2 weeks, I will see you back here again for another call. Today, our strategy piece of it is going to be talking about a high converting landing page. Now, some of you may have noticed, for those of you who take advantage of all the content that we have to offer, may have noticed that a lot of what I talk about in the strategy portion of these calls is also reflected on my podcast. And so if you have listened to the podcast, which was just published this morning, a lot of this won't be new to you, but the idea is to hit, different people at different times, just to make sure that everybody is getting the support that they need. So if you listen to the podcast, great. It could be a really good follow-up to today. And if you don't listen to the podcast, then today should be enough to get you started. So we are going to be talking about the 8 C's of crafting a high converting sales page. Oh, D. Lorraine, welcome. And I need to plug in my computer. I forgot to do that when I walked into the office. So let me go ahead and do that now, because just FYI, if you are streaming, it does eat up a lot of your battery. So if you're doing a live event for your community or you're doing a Zoom call, always make sure that your computer is plugged in, which I am going to do right now. Please feel free to drop in comments or questions. I am going to be able to see them throughout the call today, and I will silence my phone. Okay, hold on one second. Here we go. All right. Another note. For those of you who joined me for the last strategy call, you probably noticed that I was echoing a lot on my audio. Now let me just grab it here for you because this will be good for you to see. I use the Rode wireless mic, but I have 2, and I had one receiver pinned to me and the other receiver behind me. And this was the one that was picking up the sound. So hopefully the sound is a little bit clearer today. I turned this off. If you are looking for a wireless mic, this is the one that I recommend. Really the best. Okay. So 8 C's of crafting a high converting sales page. Now, let's just first of all talk about what a sales page is, what a landing page is. So clearly a sales page is intended to sell something, but it doesn't always have to be something that you are selling for money. It could be something that you're offering in your practice. So feel free to take everything that I'm sharing with you today and go ahead and apply it to any offer. It could be an opt-in. You're probably not going to want to pour as much into your landing page for an opt-in, but a lot of the C's that I'm going to be sharing with you today can be applied to an opt-in, like a lead magnet page. But I'm going to give you the whole kit and caboodle, all 8 C's, as if you were selling an offer, like a course or a service in your practice. You're going to want to follow these. This is a formula that works. It is not my unique idea, but it is a formula that I use every single time I create a sales page. And what I can tell you is that it works. I run significant Facebook ads. So I've had the opportunity over the past 5 years really to figure out which sales pages work and which don't. Now, if I'm running a Facebook ad and my ad is getting people to my landing page, but I'm not converting a lot of people who are ending up on that sales page, then something about that sales page isn't right. So we have figured it out, what works. We've hired many experts to help us craft sales pages. And again, I've just kind of boiled it down to these 8 C's that are essential for crafting a high converting landing page. So your sales page is intended to sell. It's really intended to convert people who are interested in what you are offering or selling to actually giving you an exchange, either an exchange of money or signing up. Let's say that you're offering a free webinar. This is the perfect formula for that. So if you're thinking about offering a free webinar as a lead magnet, you definitely want to follow this for your landing page. And just having them click that call to action button. Call to action is one of the C's to get their email address, potentially get their payment. Again, if you're selling something, this is a formula you're going to want to follow. So let's go ahead and kick it off. We have a couple of people saying glad to be here. Oh, so glad to see you guys here too. Thank you so much. Hey, Sarah, welcome. All right, so the first C is capture. Oh, can we just say one other thing too? I didn't want to forget to mention this, that as healthcare practitioners, most of us, now I was in sales prior to becoming a dietitian, so I'm comfortable with selling, but for some of us, selling is like an uncomfortable place to be. The beautiful thing about the sales page or really well-crafted landing page is that it can help eliminate the anxiety that we usually have around selling. And, you know, it accomplishes that in a couple of ways. First, it allows for passive selling, right? So it's out there in the universe and people, you know, can listen to what you have to say kind of on their own. So you don't have to actively be selling. It also helps you with a mindset shift of, you know, rather than pushing for a sale, I'm going to be guiding, because you'll see how this works. I'm going to be guiding people who come to my landing page to the sell. So you're not like in their face, buy this, buy this, buy this. It really is an experience that they have when they land on your landing page. It also can help build confidence, like your own confidence, because you're able to build in social proof. You can take the time to kind of craft the look you want. You don't have to remember about forgetting things. Like sometimes when we're in a sales pitch, and I am often engaged in active selling, especially when I'm at conferences and I'm an exhibitor. That is active selling. And for some of us, it's uncomfortable. The landing page can help alleviate that a little bit and can give you more confidence with selling because you can take the time to say what you want to say, to present it how you want to present it. And it can also help you with like testimonials, like building your testimonials in there and like, yeah, you know what? I have a really solid product here. So really helping you build confidence that you have an irresistible offer. Also gives you a space for being completely transparent. We're going to talk about that today. Your landing page should be absolutely clear about what you are offering, what the person who buys it or engages in it is going to get out of it. The landing page just allows you to build all of that in versus kind of active selling where you might forget some things. And it also allows for storytelling. And we're going to talk about that too. So the first C of a high converting landing page is captured. That banner is way too big. Hold on one second. I am on StreamYard right now, and I don't know that I can. Let me see if I can. Yes, I'm going to minimize our banners now. Okay, there we go. Let's see if this is better. Oh, that's better. Great. All right. So the first C is capture, and that it is what it is. Like you have to capture somebody's attention. Essentially, you need to have them stay on the page and continue to scroll, but having them get a lot of information without scrolling is going to be really important. So the capture piece is what's going to be, and I'm going to show you an example. It's going to be at the top of your landing page. So you need to craft a compelling headline, right? So I'm going to use my menopause offering, the menopause matrix. It's a made-up offer that I just made up out of the blue, but I did build it around an ideal customer avatar who is a woman who's frustrated with the symptoms of menopause and having it steal kind of her vitality, right? So my compelling headline was built around that. But your headline, it needs to be very specific. It can't just be, the menopause matrix. Like that means nothing. That's not going to keep people interested, right? You need to kind of hit the visitor to your page pretty hard with, I understand you and I'm here to help you. And that's what the compelling headline is going to support you with. So you need to be specific. So no generic headline. You need to take time to craft a powerful headline. One powerful headline is going to be specific and it's going to have a very targeted message. So let me show you. I'm going to share my screen. Again, if you have any questions as we're moving along, feel free to ask. Let me share my screen here. Okay. So, all right. There we go. I'm going to minimize myself so that you can see it here. Perfect. So without scrolling, this is what visitors to this high converting landing page will see. Now, you are going to see this landing page today, but I also am going to give you access to active landing pages for me, for my business, that follow the exact same formula. And they're active, they're selling, they convert really well. So just know that creating a sales page is going to be applicable whether you're serving consumers or other businesses. That people are people and they all kind of follow the same sales psychology. So the headline here is Unlock the Power of Nutrition to Reclaim Your Youth from Menopause. So unlock is a very powerful word. But there are other powerful words that you can use, like discover, reveal. So you want, starting with a powerful word can be really effective. And then you want to hit them with like addressing their pain point and letting them know kind of what you're all about. So right up front, I'm a registered dietitian because I dropped that in here to the bottom right. But then you also know that this is going to be about the power of nutrition. And it's not about the power of nutrition to help with menopause. This hits a very emotional space. When I say reclaim your youth from menopause, I use that because often that's how women who are going through menopause feel. They feel like they're becoming invisible. They feel like their youth is being stolen from them. So in order to craft a really compelling headline, you do need to know your ideal customer avatar really, really well. One of the best ways that you can do that is to do things like social listening, listen on social media, use Answer the Public, like what are questions that my ideal customer is asking about nutrition. You can get a lot at nutrition and menopause. You can get a lot of information from just those two resources alone. And then you can see underneath, I added a tagline that just gives them more specificity. Remember, you need to be as specific as possible with as few words as possible. So you have your headline and then maybe a tagline. This tagline is gain more energy, control food cravings, manage weight gain, and reclaim your youthful self following a proven framework that delivers lasting results. So that, in a nutshell, I have captured their attention and I have given them a really good idea of what I am going to be offering them. And then as you scroll down, you will see we're going to be moving on to the next C, which is Connect, which is a video sales letter. Does anybody have any questions about kind of top of the page, like the scroll less information? You also want to include a call to action because there might be some people who end up on your landing page who are already in your sales funnel. Maybe they've ended up in a nurturing email sequence from you and they are ready to buy. You always want to give them that opportunity up here. So there's a call to action button here. I think this page has about 5 of them, but this is the first one. If there aren't any other, let me just come back to see if there are any questions here. No, okay. So that is capture. You're articulating again, without even scrolling, I am articulating my core promise. My promise to them is that I hear them and I'm going to help them get more energy, control their food cravings, manage their weight gain, and help them reclaim their youthful self. I am promising a benefit, not a feature. Nowhere here am I saying there are 4 modules. I'm going to provide cooking demos. I'm going to provide meal plans. I'm going to provide, individual counseling sessions. The answer to all of that might be yes, 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 and yes, but this is not the space for doing that. This is really to talk about the benefits. You're going to get more energy, control your food cravings, manage weight gain, and reclaim your youthful self. When I say you can use this as a template, you literally can just like plug in your own words here. So feel free to steal my strategy here. And again, this is not my strategy. This is kind of proven sales page stuff. And then also one last thing before we move on to connect, I want you to be clear and concise, because it's tempting to elaborate and to get wordy here, but you have plenty of space on your sales page further down to get into all of that. So you don't necessarily have to get to that here, really just keeping it very simple. It took me quite a bit of time to narrow it down to these two simple phrases. So I encourage you just to kind of brainstorm, just start getting ideas on paper, follow the framework, and you will eventually get where you need to be. Okay, I'm here. I'm keeping myself small because I want to make sure that you get a full view of the page. Welcome, Sadat and Raksha. Good to see you. Jenny, welcome. Sarah, so great to see you guys here. All right. So now we're going to move on to the next C, which is connect. Now, I am taking you from the top of the sales page to the bottom of the sales page. So these are not only the C's that you need to include, but this is the order in which you deliver the information. It's really important. So the next thing you want to do is connect, and you want to connect hard. Now, look, this is the best way to connect, right? When you're looking into the camera and you're speaking, everybody here who is on this call is my ideal customer avatar. So you want to get in front of a camera and talk to them. On a video sales letter, it is recorded. So I'm going to give you show you an example of what that looks like. Let's go back to our page here and scroll down a little bit. Okay, this is a video sales letter. I'm not going to run the full thing.
If you're a nutrition professional who is exhausted from the constant burden of content creation, then this is the most important message that you'll ever hear. I created Living Plate RX because I
almost 100% guaranteed they don't have their audio
content
on. So you're definitely going to want
over and over and over again.
Captions
and I know I'm not alone.
I use
as a busy professional, you are pulled in a million different directions.
Actually, I think
so it's hard to keep up with the constant demand for digital content.
So, and most
the problem is free. If you're not in the digital content game now, you're simply not in the game. Your competition is already way ahead.
This video sales letter is 1 minute, about 1 minute and 45 seconds long, which is pretty common for video sales letters. Let me just come to hello here for a second. That is very common for a video sales letter to be about like less than 2 minutes, 3 minutes tops. But I will tell you that I have experimented with much longer video sales letters, and they were more like mini presentations almost. They were not about the product, but they were about how I was going to be offering a transformation and really building confidence in my ideal customer avatars, building their confidence in me. So you can go longer. I've experimented with longer. I have a video sales letter. I think it's like 10 minutes long. It's long, like it's a mini presentation. It converts phenomenally well. I think it was like 40% right now of the people who end up on that landing page are converting into a paid customer, which is insane. Like if you get anywhere close to 10%, you're going to be good. So what that tells me is that longer video sales letter gives the person watching more confidence that I'm going to provide a solution to their problem. So at the end of the day, it's really going to be about experimenting and seeing what resonates with your clients. All right, we have some comments or questions here. Is my video running? Can you hear me now, Hillary? Let me just see here. Let me minimize myself, make sure the video is not running. Okay, I think the video is off now, Hillary. Can you guys hear me now? Yikes, you are talking and your video is talking at the same time. I'm sorry, guys. So because I can't hear what's happening on your end. Okay, yes, all good now. All right, sorry about that. Yes. So really helpful to hear how the conversation starts. Sure. And I'm going to give you samples and I'll tell you where to find them of my video sales letters, both of them, the short one and the long one. And you can watch it. Now, again, you are my ideal customer avatar. So when you are watching, just come to hello, I'm talking with my hands and I'm talking to nobody. When you watch the video sales letter, ask yourself the question, is what she's saying resonating with me? Right? Because that's how you want your ideal customer avatar to feel. Like, what is what that person's saying making me want to work with them? Or do I have confidence that they can help me get the transformation that I'm looking for? You need to figure that out. Now, I provide you with a video sales letter script. If you are a member of Living Plate RX, you already have access to that, so you can build one out. The key with video sales letters is like nothing is worse than a video sales newsletter, like where somebody is reading off a script and they're not like looking into the camera. No, it needs to be genuine. It needs to be you speaking from the heart, but you need to be prepared. So write your video sales letter script and read it to yourself again and again, rehearse it over and over and over again. I mean, I think the one that I just showed you, I probably had 20 takes on, right? And you can also edit it. Like if the first half was really good, but the second half wasn't so good, you can always, shoot it separately and then just with a nice transition, put it together. So don't put so much pressure on yourself to like get those 2 minutes in just right. You don't have to do that. In fact, you can videotape yourself and you don't need fancy equipment. You can use a webcam like what I have now. You can use your FaceTime. It doesn't have to be fancy. I wouldn't use your phone because landscape really works best and it's kind of hard to figure out the camera on that. But you don't need fancy equipment. Just shoot the video, maybe do it in chunks, and then you can do some nice, easy transitions. That's actually how I started. My first video sales letter was and I still have it to remind myself of how far I've come. It was bad. It's still converted though, oddly enough, but you just have to be better than the next person doing a video sales letter. But you want to really put your best foot forward here. Like this part of your sales process is really, really important on your sales page. Okay, so Simone, Hillary, great. Okay, so Simone is saying it's really helpful to hear your conversion stats. Yes, so right now I have 2 sales pages out in I have many sales pages, but I have 2 that are being scaled, meaning through Facebook ads. Now, the thing about Facebook ads is that you'll know very quickly what's working and what's not because you're scaling it significantly, right? So instead of getting in front of 10 clients a day, you're getting in front of thousands of people a day. So you want to know kind of what your conversion stats are for them. And again, the conversion stats are all over the place. Some, like my 40% conversion sales page, that one, for whatever reason, whenever we spend more money on Facebook ads, the conversion drops. I think it's because we just cast too big of a net and the person ending up on that sales page isn't my ideal customer avatar. But when we're landing in front of the right people, it's like magic. The other video sales letter that I give you access to, which is like 2 minutes long, which actually is, I think it's the one that I just shared with you, that converts, I think it was 14%, something like that, but it like more than 10, which is phenomenal again. So you do want to pay attention to your stats kind of as you roll it out. All right, so that was Connect. So that is our video sales letter. You want it at the top of your sales page. And again, I would not recommend you publish a sales page without a video of yourself. So get comfortable with it. Somebody is saying, I find it hard to look directly at the camera without my eyes making it obvious that the script is higher. Exactly. Oh, Simone, exactly. You will not read from a script. You will not read from a script. Okay, if you have even a teleprompter, like I could be looking into the camera, but my eyes are going to be moving left to right. It's just not the best way to connect. If you really want to connect, you need to not only have your script kind of in your head, but you have to really believe in what you are presenting to your ideal customer avatar. If you have the solution that they need, you need to pour your passion into that video sales letter, right? And address all of their concerns right up front. So I'm glad that you brought that up, Simone, because you will not be reading from a script. It is impossible. I think on Instagram now, they have like AI that makes your eyes look like they're looking at the camera, but you're actually reading from a script. you can still tell somebody's reading from a script. So keep it short initially, nail down, maybe videotape it, Simone, in like 4 segments, really nail down what you're going to say and know it so that you can say it naturally, and tape that first quarter, and then the second, the third, and the fourth, and then you can put them together in free video editing software on either Canva or iMovie. Lots of options there. But your video sales letter, again, does not have to be seamless from beginning to end. Okay, so let's just see. I just want to cover a couple of things. Like, the elements of a great VSL or a video sales letter is that it has a clear narrative structure. Again, our members have access to a script that you can just use, but a structure is that you're going to introduce a relatable problem. So something that you know about really, really well, and you're going to take the viewer on a journey that will conclude with a resolution, which is your offering. So the idea is to keep it engaging, maintaining a natural tone, Simone, like what we just talked about, really, really important, and ensure good production quality. Not perfect production quality, just good. Decent lighting, good sound, and you should be good to know. Simone is saying, brilliant advice. Thank you so much. Great. Julie is saying, do you ever fail at anything, Jeannie? Oh my gosh. You know, Julie, that is such a, that's great. But let me just tell you, I fail so you don't have to. Like, learn, what do they say? Learn from my scars and not from my wounds. I can't even tell you how many video sales letters I have created and trashed. Like, if I went into my file, it would just be hundreds at this point. Like, I have gone through it. Now I know it works. I've documented it. I have it in a script for you. So you figure it out. But yes, Julie, you know, in terms of, like, if you want to know if something is good or not, like, put it in a Facebook ad, because you're either going to fail hard or you're going to succeed. So I figured out what works mostly by running these sales pages on Facebook ads when you're scaling. So I think you guys are good. So again, oh, somebody's asking for blooper reels. I don't know. That would be a very vulnerable step for me to take. I don't know if I do that, but it would be pretty funny because they're terrible. They're terrible. All right, so connect. Strongly advise a video sales letter. All right, now let me add to the stream here. Communicate is our third C. So the third, again, communicate phase, it's about precision and clarity. So the connect phase is more about emotions and establishing trust. The communicate phase is where you're going to logically and effectively describe your value proposition. Now, again, not your product, it's your value. Like, what value are you going to be bringing to people? And there are a couple of ways that you're going to do this. I'm going to scroll down a little bit here. Okay, so start reclaiming the life you deserve, to live the life you want in the next 28 days. So I'm adding some, I'm communicating like the value here. Like, you're going to reclaim your life and live the life you want in 28 days. You're going to start seeing results. So that's you know, somewhat of a big promise. Again, this is not a real product, but that is very typical of what you would see in this area. What you want to do when you're starting to communicate your value on this page is a couple of things. You want to understand and address the challenges that they're finding. So you want to acknowledge barriers. So you could convey the most common barrier that your ICA might be facing. Is it like lack of time, overwhelming choices, past failures? Here, it's like, imagine having energy and confidence you had before menopause without dieting, gimmicks, or restriction. There, I am reflecting to my ideal customer avatar that I know they've tried dieting, they've tried gimmicks, and they've tried restriction, right? I'm also helping them kind of map out their future selves, right? But imagine having energy and confidence. Energy and confidence is what they want. They don't want a course. They want energy and confidence. Again, that is the difference between talking about the benefits of working with you versus the features. We haven't even gotten to the features yet. So imagine having the energy and confidence you had before menopause without dieting, gimmicks, and restrictions. So I actually covered a lot there. You want to make sure that you're articulating your solution with precision. So, like, start brainstorming these areas of content, like these blocks of content, and really narrow it down. And again, as specific as you can be, like the next 28 days, that's, if you can promise some type of a time-bound result that they get, that's going to be pretty high value. So anytime you're talking about, energy, I'm going to come to hello here for a second, blood sugar, like if you are running a course for pre-diabetes or about managing blood sugar levels, you can get results in like 5 days because people can, as long as they have a way to track their blood sugars, they're going to be able to see better control. Of course, long-term is going to be more like 3 months, but you can, suggest that you're going to help them meet their goals in a certain amount of time. Let me just come back here. Perfect. All right. And then you're going to talk about you're going to acknowledge the problems and barriers that they have. There's a lot of ways to do this. I have used this frequently on my sales pages. Does this sound like you? Obviously, the answer should be yes. If the person who is reading this page is your ideal customer avatar, they're going to keep scrolling because they used to be able to eat anything without gaining weight. They used to have energy, but now they can't get through the day because they're tired. They're overwhelmed with cooking. Exercise is difficult. So you see what I've done here, right? So really calling out these quote unquote pain points or struggles or barriers that they have had. And then I'm going to tell them, look, it doesn't have to be this way. You can take control and you don't have to do it alone, right? Boom. There it is. Now we're going to start talking about a call to action. Any questions so far on this? Let me just come to hello for a second. We come to our comments. All right, I think we're good. So that was the communicate phase, and you're communicating benefits, not the features yet. A clear call to action. So the call to action, this is our fourth C. The call to action actually appears throughout the page many, many times. So let me make this bigger here and I'll show you. So you can see that there's one here. So join our community now. That is a very clear call to action. Like if I click here, I'm going to be joining the program. Take me to the matrix. I'm ready to take control. You can experiment with different language. It should be more action oriented, like, get ready, take me to the matrix, like just like actually doing something when they land on that. Learn more is not one that you want to include on the page. And so let's just talk about some of the rules for call to action buttons. So let's count them here. We have 1, 2, 3, just scroll down here, 4, 5, I think there are 6 on this one. Yes, 6, maybe 7, 6. Okay, so I have 6 call to actions. And what is the first thing you are noticing? Drop in comments. What is the first thing that you are noticing that is common to all of these call to action buttons? Because this is kind of the first rule of call to action buttons. What are you guys noticing about all of these call to action buttons? Why don't you just drop in comments first what you're noticing, and then we're going to talk about them. And I'm just going to give you a hint. It's the science of visual distinction. There's actually a science as to why the call to actions look this way. Anybody want to give a guess as to what do these call to action buttons have in common? The same color. Thank you, Donna. Thanks for helping me out. Thanks for helping the teacher out. I love people who raise their hands in class. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, Barbara, Simone. Yes, the color stands out from the page. You want your call to action to be a different color than other things on your page, and you want it to stand out as much as possible. So I typically use this lime green, which is a brand color. You'll see the hover, when I'm hovering there, goes lighter. I've actually changed that to make it go darker. So now it goes to like a very deep blueberry, which is kind of pops and nice, but you want to experiment with colors. Things like green work really well. Red works fantastic, but it's not consistent with my brand, so I don't use it. You don't really want to go with natural colors. You really want bolder colors here. So again, green, bright blue, red will all work. It has been shown that rounded edges work better than sharp squares. It just makes it more inviting. Simone is saying green also represents go. Yes, I love that. But red does work too. So maybe experiment with green, Simone, and see how that works. So color is important, size and shape. So you can see my call to action here is rounded edges. I've always preferred that anyway, but it does make it more inviting and more click worthy. And then you also want your call to actions to have some white space around them. You can see I've built in some white space here. So what you really want them to stand out. You don't want them getting lost. You can see I already have it built in here. Okay, so make sure that your call to action button has some white space all around it. Let me see here. Let me scroll down. Perfect. Okay, strategic placement. You want one, it's called above the fold. That was the word I was looking for before. This is above the fold. Before anybody scrolls, you want something here. So typically in the header, all the way to the right works really nicely. And then you just want to strategically place them as you're scrolling down the page. If you're having to scroll more than twice to see a call to action button, you don't have enough. So just include another one. And again, if you're making the messages inviting and welcoming, it's not like buy now, buy now, buy now, buy now. That might work too, but you know, you can mix up the messaging here. You don't always have to be, you know, buy now. You can see I have one here built in after telling them a little bit about myself, and then again, all the way down at the bottom. So strategic placement is important. You want another rule about a call to action button is that you only want one. Every single call to action button that you see here on this page goes to one place and one place only, the purchase page. If you put learn more or ask me a question, like people can get decision paralysis. Remember, the purpose of your sales page is to convert people who are interested and converting them to buying. So every call to action leads to a purchase, or again, to an opt-in if you're using a sales page as an opt-in. And then let's see here. And then you can reiterate the value often. Again, just picking your language carefully. So joining our supportive community now, that's a call to action button, but it sounds a little bit different than I'm ready, take me to the matrix, right? So, or I'm ready to take control. So again, mix it up and really say it in language that resonates with your ideal customer avatar. All right, we are moving on to our fifth C, which is confidence. So let me minimize myself again. I just want to come to say hello every once in a while. Make sure you guys know I'm still here with you. I just want to make this as large as possible. So the fifth C is confidence. So confidence is really about assuring, let's just scroll down here. I'm going to go down because I think that this addresses, all of this addresses confidence, but this does too. So establishing confidence is really going to be pivotal in their decision-making process, right? They're coming onto this digital page, they're scrolling, and they're either going to decide that they trust you or they don't. There are several ways that you can assure them that you are the right person to lead them to the transformation that they're looking for. First, anticipate concerns. So put yourself in your prospect's shoes. Are they concerned about the time commitment? Are they concerned about the price? Are they concerned about the actual outcomes? You want to address all of these kind of head on. You also want to include an FAQ section, right? So frequently asked questions. This is a great space for that. Let me scroll down so that you can see what that looks like. It doesn't have to be anything super fancy. So here's about anticipating concerns first before we get to the frequently asked questions. Use this line because it works really well. I hear you saying, sounds great, but here's where you're going to be answering their potential objections. Like, what are their concerns? Are they concerned that they don't have time to cook? Are they concerned that their family is picky, right? Well, that's what you build in here. Maybe 4 or 5. If you know your, hold on. I want to make sure my video isn't playing. Is it still? Somebody's saying they can't hear me. I'll make sure that video is off. Hold on. Yes, it is off. Okay, perfect. So you want to make sure that right up front, you are letting them know, I understand you have concerns, but here's what I have to say about that, right? So I hear you saying, sounds great, but great chunk of content to include on your sales page. Now, here are the FAQs. This gets a little bit more specific than addressing the objections. I have an accordion set up here. This sales page was built on Kajabi. Almost every software that hosts the sales page is going to have this style of FAQ, but you don't have to have an accordion. You can just have your FAQ listed at, closer to the middle to the bottom of your sales page. So answering, what is the menopause matrix? How does it work? How is it different from other programs? What does it cost? So that you can include in your FAQs here. That helps with building confidence and assuring them that you're transparent, which is really important, and that you hear them, and that you do, in fact, have the expertise necessary to be their guide on their journey to the transformation. So those really are the 3 ways that you're going to build confidence. Make sure that they know who you are and why you're qualified to be doing what you're doing. Let them know that you hear their objections and answer them. And then frequently asked questions. Those are going to kind of be your 3 keys in this section. I would say the last thing for confidence, which we are still on number 5, confidence, is this right here. Now, when you see this for anything, so if you're buying anything online and they offer a money back guarantee, it says a couple of things. Number 1, it's a lot easier for you to click buy because you're like, no risk, right? But on a deeper level, it conveys confidence. If somebody is offering you a 30-day money back guarantee, they wouldn't be doing it if everybody asked for their money back, right? They are doing it because they are very confident that they, in fact, are going to be the solution that you're looking for. Now, for me, I'm in a business-to-business space. It's different than business to consumer, and I'll explain the difference. So for business to business, I offer a money-back guarantee on Living Plate RX membership because I am so convinced, our attrition rate is so low, I am convinced that almost everybody who comes into our community will get the value that they expect, if not more. So we have a money-back guarantee associated with our membership, and it works for us. If you offer a money-back guarantee and a lot of people are asking for their money back, you have a much bigger problem than the sales page. You need to go back to the drawing board and reconfigure what your offer actually is. For consumer-facing content, you want to be careful about promising outcomes because often that's what people will think. Well, so you're going to guarantee me that I will lose 10 pounds in 3 months? No, I'm not going to guarantee that you're going to lose 10 pounds. I'm not going to guarantee that you're going to control your blood sugars in 28 days. What I can guarantee you is that I will be the support that you need to get that outcome. But ultimately, that outcome is up to you, right? So it does put it on the consumer that they are responsible for taking advantage of your resources. But if they take advantage of your resources, you are guaranteeing they will get value, they will feel supported. And so you just want to be super, super clear about what your money back guarantee is, what it means to the consumer. Okay. And again, especially when you're dealing with health outcomes, you want to be really, really careful here. But again, people who offer money back guarantees, that immediately says they're confident. They know that they're going to be able to support me. Let me just scroll up a little bit more because there's one other thing about confidence, of course, and that is a great testimonial, right? So these are samples of testimonials. For business to business, it's a lot easier to get testimonials with people's likeness, their images. For consumers, it might be a little bit more difficult. But if you can get testimonials with clients' images and maybe offer like a Starbucks gift card. You don't need a lot of testimonials, but I would say that if you're going to be using somebody's image on your landing page or on your website, that is super, super high value, and you should react appropriately, respond appropriately. So again, maybe a small gift card, a $5 gift card, something like that would be a really nice gesture, although you might have people willing to do it without that. If you can't get images, it's okay. Just do the testimonials. But the most important part about the testimonial is that it's not about how great you are. It shouldn't be, oh, my experience in working with Barbara was just so fantastic. I really enjoyed it. That says nothing about the transformation. You want these testimonials to be very well crafted. And the way that you get a well-crafted testimonial is to ask prompting questions. What was if I'm going to ask for a testimonial from our community member, one of the first questions I'm going to ask is, what was your life before joining our community? Maybe what were your hesitations about joining our community? And ask them a series of questions, then take the answers, craft the testimonial, the high value testimonial, and then bounce it back to them for their approval. Don't just send out a request and say, hey, I'm looking for testimonials. Would somebody write one? Because that's a big ask, number one. And number two, it might not be the best testimonial, right? So you really want your testimonials. Let's see if we can blow this up a little bit so that you can say, you want them to be very well crafted. So let's just take a look at this middle one, for example. After struggling with menopause, I was desperate to find a solution that would finally make me feel normal again. That's when I discovered the Menopause Matrix and worked with Jeannie. She offered so much support to address the struggles I experienced with menopause. The cooking part of her program has been transformative. After completing the program, my energy levels are back up where they should be. And even more importantly, I feel in control of my life again. This program has truly been a lifesaver for me. That is a slammin' testimonial, right? It has all of the makings of really just a well-crafted testimonial. But your clients are not going to write this. You're just going to be asking them prompting questions. For our Living Plate RX members, we do have a testimonial request resource for you in the library. So you can go ahead and start, asking people to write testimonials for you. If you are selling a course, just come to hello for a second. If you are selling a course and you want testimonials specific to the course, you're going to have to run a beta program. So offering it at a very low cost or for free for a small group of people and the ask is that they will give you a testimonial. So I have this new course. I want to see, what the experience is like, and I want to offer it to you for free in exchange for a testimonial. That works really well. So I had done that when I was in private practice, and I had more testimonials than I actually needed, which is great. So just start your testimonial bank that way. If you don't have time to do that, or you just really want to get some testimonials on the page, you can use testimonials about what it's like working with you, just generally speaking. But it's always better if it relates to what you're selling, right? But don't let it hold you up if you don't have that right from the get-go. All right. Number 6 is consistency. So this is more about, let me just make this bigger again. This is more about the branding aspect of it. You want your landing page to have a cohesive brand experience, right? So you can see the colors are very similar. I have some key assets here, like the subway tile. I've mixed up some solid backgrounds with my brand colors. I have some imagery here, again, consistent with my brand colors. You don't want it to be all over the place. You want brand unity. You also want to maintain the same voice and tone kind of throughout. So if you are, more casual with your content overall, then you're going to want to be more casual on your sales page. You want to make sure that you reiterate your values. If one of your values, for example, is support, right? That's one of my core values in my business. If one of your values is support, you want to make sure that whoever is going through your sales page feels supported, and even use that word, right? Support and value and confidence. You can actually use those words in your copy for your sales page, and you just want it to be consistent. You want consistency, not monotony. I'm not, on this sales page, I am not repeating myself really ever, but it does look very much the same, right? Let's just go down here. I'm going to be part of the transparency piece is here, right? Where I'm actually outlining exactly what is in the course. I don't want to spend too much time on this because this is actually the least important piece of it. Somebody's probably going to decide whether or not they want to work with me before they even see this. This is just the icing on the cake. Okay, what is included? You also want to be transparent. Like if there are certain things like hormone testing or micronutrient testing that aren't included, you're going to want to put that here. So again, if one of your values is about one of your practice values is about adding value and providing more support, that is seen in something like this, where you're outlining exactly how am I going to support you? How am I going to offer you more value? right? And how am I going to be transparent? That's an example of having consistent brand voice. All right, number 7 is claim. So if I scroll down to the bottom here, and it is readable and it's bold, I have a disclaimer. This is really important for credibility. As a nutrition professional, your reputation is paramount. So you need to be very clear about whatever your offer is. Is it, if you're running an MNT program where there's counseling, you need to include that here. If it's just education, you need to include that here, and you need to be really specific, and it will help you avoid any kind of legal complications should they arise. You want to also craft a disclaimer that will set clear expectations of what it is that somebody is buying. And oddly enough, this type of disclaimer makes people feel more confident about buying from you. So definitely include it, and definitely have it reviewed by a legal professional. And then comes time to create. Let me just come up to the top here. So now you actually have to build your landing page. And there are a couple of spaces. Let's just come to hello now. Any questions? You guys everybody's still here. Everybody's sticking around listening to what I have to say. Do you have any questions so far about any one of the other C's before we move on to creating it? Because this is an important decision. It is a decision about what kind of experience do you want the person who ends up on your landing page to have. You're also deciding about what it's going to look like, because some landing page hosts are going to look different than others. And then it's also financial, right? So you can use a Kajabi landing page, but it requires that you have a Kajabi account. And that could be, out of your budget. You could use your EHR, which also enables you to create simple landing pages, but the experience is not as designed and not as great, right? But it's great. So you're just going to have to weigh what direction you want to go in. Somebody is asking, it is intimidating but exciting at the same time. Yeah, it's intimidating until you follow the formula. Who said that? Donna. Just follow the formula. Like, that's the whole idea behind today, is to kind of reduce the barrier to you creating a really good landing page. So just follow the formula, and it'll work out just great. D. Lorraine is saying, will we be able to create this without taking any other course? Yeah, just follow the formula. You can just listen to this replay and you can just build a landing page. Yeah, you don't have to take another course to learn. I'm telling you everything that you need to know about building a landing page. The create part is very individualistic because it will depend on what your resources are, right? So you can host landing pages on your website. So let's say that you have a WordPress. You can build landing pages on your website. What I like about that is that the URL of that landing page will be your website, right? So if your website is, goodfoodnutrition.com, I don't know if that's anybody's website, then your landing page will also have, goodfoodnutrition.com/menopause matrix, something like that. So that's always really good, but that does require a little bit of tech knowledge. You can have somebody build it out really, really easily. But I will say, don't have somebody build you a sales page, like have them construct it, but you build the sales page. Actually build the user experience like I'm sharing with you now, and just hand it over to them. Say, make it look just like this. Here are the assets. Here are the images. Here's my video sales letter. Include all of these and build it for me. So you can build that on your website like WordPress. But again, it's going to require some technical knowledge. You can also host these sales pages on external platforms. So something like a Kajabi or a Teachable or Thinkific, which, they're selling courses. So their sales pages, those templates are designed mostly for courses. But also lead pages, right? Or ClickFunnels. There's a lot of landing page software out there. Again, it's going to be where you want to invest your time and your money. I love Kajabi because they create really beautiful landing pages, and I can do it really simply. But I'm like a new fan of Go High Level, thanks to Stephanie at String Marketing. And I understand that at Go High Level, I'll be able to create really beautiful landing pages as well. So just Pick a platform to start with, and you'll know very quickly if it's going to work for you or not. One thing that you want to keep in mind is that whatever you do build, you want to make sure that it is mobile responsive, because there's nothing worse than going to a landing page that doesn't work on a phone. It does not reek of professionalism, right? So you want to make sure that you're going to spend time and effort on creating this really high converting landing page. You want to make sure that the mobile aspect of it is solid. If you're using something like a Kajabi or like a Leadpages, you're guaranteed it's going to be solid. With EHRs, I'm not really sure. I've never built a landing page on an EHR, so you'd have to check with your EHR provider to see kind of what that looks like. But you want to make sure that it is friendly on mobile. Let's just see. We have a question here. Somebody is saying, what I haven't worked out yet is what the ideal cost per click is for Facebook ads, because I'm not entirely sure about the commission we get if we use the link to your website. Oh, that's interesting. There is no commission on my website, just to be clear, Simone. So, no, that wasn't Simone who was asking that question. There is no commission. So Living Plate RX members get access to all the content that they need for their practice. And that includes content to build offers to sell. So you create the offer, you brand it, you edit it. Let's say it's a course, then you're ready to build the sales page. So you are not, this is not an affiliate program. This is about building a landing page for an offer, excuse me, in your private practice. Okay, and I give you all the content to build that offer. So it's a little bit more complicated than that. We can talk about Facebook ads and cost per click later, but the point about Facebook ads and sales pages is that you will find out very, very quickly if there's something wrong with your offer or if there's something wrong with your sales page when you scale it like that. So when you're scaling on Facebook ads, you're getting in front of so many more people. If I'm getting people on to my sales page, my offer is probably good, decent, because I have people interested enough in my ad copy, like in the ad, I'm telling them about the offer, that they've gone to the landing page. But if they don't click once they're on the landing page, then something might not be great there, or my offer might not be good enough. So there's a lot of things about Facebook ads that make you either succeed fast or fail hard fast. That's another conversation though. So I hope that makes sense. Okay. Oh, Simone. Simone's like, what? Wow, thank you. Yes, Simone, you will have everything that you need to create your own unique experience for your ideal customer avatar. But I just give you everything that you need. Okay, great. So G. Lorraine is asking, does Kajabi do website as well? Yes, Kajabi does host websites. It's really, really easy. I don't know that I totally recommend that because it's a debate on whether building on Kajabi or WordPress impacts SEO or not. WordPress is really the platform that is most desirable right now. I would say that Go High Level is kind of another layer that you can consider. But if you have questions about website hosting, hop into our Facebook group and tag Stephanie Hoffenke. Stephanie is a pro. We partner with String Marketing, and she will kind of give you her unbiased opinion about websites. I think that it's probably going to come back that Kajabi isn't the best place to host a website, but it could be a really great place to get started. It could also be a really great place to build your courses, offer your courses, collect payments for your courses. Like if you are building courses on Kajabi, then absolutely use their sales page functionality. Hope that makes sense. Okay, great. So a lot of things to consider when you're creating. You also want to be sure that once you select a platform to build your sales page, you are going to want to track how it's doing. So you're going to be able to track, is somebody clicking? How long are they staying on my landing page? If they're staying on for 3 to 5 seconds, that's actually not so bad. Are they clicking on, the cart? Like, are they abandoning cart, or are they purchasing? There's a lot of data there that you can get that will inform, how well your sales page is performing. Okay, so somebody else is saying that they have developed their website in Kajabi. Yeah, Raksha said she did. Yeah, so you can do that. Kajabi is it's expensive, but you're getting what you pay for. It's beautiful. Like you can craft some really beautiful things on Kajabi if you pour yourself into it. Okay, so that is it. Any questions on crafting the sales page? I'm going to finish by saying that if you have not built an irresistible offer yet, don't do this. Don't waste your time. You want to craft an irresistible offer, meaning that like if your ideal client ends up on your sales page, they are interested enough to kind of keep scrolling. But you won't know that until you actually create an offer and start putting it out into the universe. So it could mean that you run a beta program. For me, in my business, I ran a founders special. Like I didn't know whether my offer was going to sell or not. I just eventually got to put it out there to see. And so I put it out and I said, the first 100 people who sign up get it for this price. And we sold out in 2 days. I was like, okay, I have an offer that I can sell. It is that simple. So you need to put it out into the universe and be willing. There were plenty of offers before that didn't fly. Just to be clear, I failed a lot there. But once you have an offer that is selling and you're ready to scale, that's when this formula is going to serve you best. So make sure that you have that irresistible offer first. Do not start building a digital course before you're selling something. Don't build a digital course because you think you should build a digital course, right? Like digital courses are fantastic. And I think that they're a wonderful opportunity for practitioners right now, but not everybody should be building a digital course. Maybe you need to start with a free webinar, which could be great, right? So tell me what you guys are going to do. Tell me what kind of action are you going to take on these 8 C's today? Whether it's crafting your hook, are you going to craft an opt-in page for a webinar maybe? Tell me what you're going to do. I want to hear from you. What action you're going to take on this information. Again, you just start with number 1, which is capture, craft the hook. And if you are doing an opt-in, let's just say you're a very high value opt-in, like a content bundle for somebody who's touched by IBS, for example. You're going to have a low FODMAP grocery list, some low FODMAP recipes, low FODMAP cooking videos, high value. You don't need to create an entire sales page for an opt-in, a free opt-in. But that top of the page piece, like where you're going to be capturing and connecting with them, sure. So maybe that's where you start. You don't have to build out the entire process. All right. Okay, so let's move on to our frequently asked questions now. Raksha is saying she's going to offer a webinar via an opt-in. Perfect. Free webinars are awesome opt-ins. Just make sure it's high value and it speaks specifically to your ideal customer avatar. That's great, Raksha. I'm glad to see that. All right, so frequently asked question in the past week. This has been amazing. This has been amazing. So we did a webinar. I exhibited at today's Dietitian Symposium in May. Part of that exhibit fee was that today's Dietitian would support me with an email that went out to a certain number of people on our mailing list. And I could send information. I could really include anything that I wanted to in that email. I thought the best thing to do was to offer a free webinar. So we offered a free 2-day event about building evidence-based courses. It was so amazing. Clearly struck a nerve. I think that a lot of people are thinking about building courses now, right? And we just offer a very different perspective on building courses because our process is evidence-based. And we did a 2-day event. First day was the evidence behind evidence around courses and like, what does that look like? What does an evidence-based course look like versus what does a course look like for, decorating a cake, or for example. So we talked about that. And then day 2 was all about the marketing. It was super high value. The response was, we had, I think at this point, like over 1,100 people for this webinar. And everybody's been asking, when are we going to get the recordings? So I'm here to tell you that the recording should be out any day. And if you registered for that 2-day event, you will be receiving the recording as well. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out to me or tag me in the Facebook group, and I'll get you on that. But for those of you who have registered, and a lot of our community did, you will be receiving that recording. We have a comment here from somebody saying, I'm going to start putting a course on Go High Level tomorrow. Oh, Simone, congratulations. That's amazing. So if you already have Go High Level, then you already have all the bells and whistles you need to construct a landing page. So that is amazing. And we have somebody saying that they're going to offer a webinar via an opt-in. Perfect. So I think that was Raksha who said that. That's what I did here. I created a free offer. It was a 2-day event, so it was a much bigger offer. You don't have to do that. You can create just a 1-hour webinar, 1 day, maybe follow it up with live Q&A. That's always fun. But again, make sure that you load that webinar with value and give them some content as well. Sarah's asking a question. Can I get the recording even if I didn't register? Sarah, so you can register and get the recording. I think that you need to have registered, but I think that you can actually register to see the recording. So make sure that you tag me here, Sarah, just tag @Jeannie, and I'll come up and I'll make sure that we add you to the list, or I can send you the opt-in. It's actually, I think it's still pinned to the top of the Facebook group. So you can opt in to that event and you'll still get the recording, I think, but we'll get it to you. Don't worry about that. All right, let's come back to the banners. All right, then we had a question. So this has come up a couple of times, like how do you change clients' meal plan? So let's say somebody begins on the low FODMAP diet. Now the low FODMAP diet is not intended to be a lifelong solution to any problem. It is temporary. So as you're working with your client to discover triggers, and what they should be avoiding, and or what can they eat more of, you're eventually going to want to transition them to a different meal plan. And it's really, really simple to do. But once you do that, once you change them over to a meal plan, they will lose that meal plan. It's not like they're going to have access to both. So keep that in mind. I'm going to show you now what that looks like. I'm going to share this tab. So let me go to my clients. Now I am in the Living Plate RX dashboard. I'm going to go into clients here. Let's just see all my clients. Okay, let's just go into the client here, which is myself as a demo. Great. And then you can see I've got a lot of different options here for managing my client's planner. The meal plan that they're on is listed here, but I can change that very simply by clicking the change button. Once I click that button, let me just make sure you guys, oh, you're not seeing it. Let me add it. Oh, add it to the stream. There we go. Okay, here we go. Sorry, guys. Let me go back to clients. Perfect. So you go into the client tab, click on the client here. And now you will see where you can make changes. So the meal plan is listed here. Meal plan, demo plan, click change. And you can make the changes. So here's a scroll down. So here are all the different meal plans that are in this demo account, right? So pick the one that you want to switch them to. And then you have some choices that you can make. I'm not going to change the recipes currently on their planner. They're going to start seeing that next week, all the way down to I'm going to change it right away. So you can make the decision. The reason why you might not want to change somebody's meal plan immediately is if they've gone like grocery shopping for the week already. And you don't want to, so make sure that you communicate with the client, make sure that they know that the change is coming, make the selection here, and then you just click change meal plan. And it will change that client's meal plan to, and then you'll be able to see that here under their meal plan. Another question that came in was, can I hide the nutrition facts on my client's meal planner? The answer is yes. So you can, let me just come to hello for a second. You can conceal nutrition data on the planner level. So let's say you want to do like an intuitive eating approach to meal planning, basically just giving people, options for their week and just kind of guiding people to making snacks and healthy dinners. And data is not important. You're not interested in the carbs, the fat, the protein, the calories. You really just want it to be very food centric. You can, when you create that signature plan, you can create it so that there are no nutrition facts on that plan. But let's say it's at the client level. That's what I'm going to show you now. At the client level, you can also conceal nutrition facts. So you're going to go to Nutrition Facts, which is right here. I'm going to highlight it for you, and then click change. And the default is to show the nutrition facts, but you can also hide the nutrition facts just by highlighting this here. Okay. And you can also set different limits for clients in the meal plan. So if you did have somebody who you wanted to be on a 2,000 calorie limit meal plan, you could plug that in here and check it. 2,000, let's say the 2,000 calories, so that if they are editing their meal plan and they exceed 2,000 calories, they will get an alert. It doesn't prevent them from adding more food, but it just gives them an alert, which can sometimes be okay. Like, what if it's 2,050 calories? Like, I never really want an algorithm to make a decision that you can make as the practitioner. So this enables you to do that. Any questions here on the client management side while I'm in here? Okay, let's move on to our next question then, which is the weekly client email settings. So let's go to account. I think it's there. Hold on. Nope, it's in Living Plate Prime. Okay. Yep. So in your Living Plate RX Prime tab here, where your signature planner is, you have your other settings category here now. You can see here, bottom right-hand corner, weekly emails. So every week we send an email. It's usually at like Thursday night at midnight. We send an email to all meal plan subscribers. We don't know who it's going to. It's just any active meal planner will get an email that says, here's what's cooking on your meal planner next week. And it really is just a prompt to send them to their meal plan. The weekly email is branded for you. So your brand is on it, your signature is on it, but it is coming from us. We're saying, hey, check out what's on your meal plan. The recipes that they see are going to be the dinners from that week. So if you create a signature plan that has like chicken, fish, and beef on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, for example, that's what they're going to see. Those are they're going to see actually what is on their meal plan. If you don't want your clients to receive that email, then you're going to you're going to disable this, just toggle it off. Okay, so the weekly emails are now disabled for your planners. And it's for all, it's global. It's not, you can't do it by planner, by plan or by client. You need to either disable all or enable all. You can send your own weekly emails for sure. So I just encourage you, and I actually would encourage you to do that. So if you have a roster of meal planning clients, you can download the roster and upload it to your email server like once a week just to make sure it's updated, and send a weekly email. And you can even title it, what's cooking this week? Like, check out what's in your weekly meal plan, and then offer them the branded login page. Let me just show you now how you get to your branded login page, because that is another question that we get frequently. I am in my dashboard. If I log out, you can see here, I'm going to log out of my dashboard. This is my branded login page, and the URL is listed. So you want to copy that URL and assign it to a call to action button. But it will be branded for you. If you log out of your dashboard, you'll get to your branded login page. Okay. All right. Let's move on to organizing Canva content. So we had someone in our Facebook group say, hey, is there anybody out there who can help me organize my content in Canva? I love that question because it's something we should all be doing. I actually need to revisit my own Canva account. We give you access to so much content, and all of that content is editable inside of Canva. So every link from our library leads to an editable version of that document. So if it's a handout on vitamin C or magnesium or glutathione, it goes to Canva. The entire design is there for you to brand and edit for your practice. You can then download it and enter it into a course or into your EHR. But now that content, a copy of that content, is in Canva. So you should organize it. I will say there are people who can help you organize that for sure. But also, if you go to Nutrition Content Creation Academy, which all of our members have access to, there's a section there on how to organize your content in Canva. I think I also have a Canva 101 course inside of membership, another place where you can find like suggested folders for organizing your content in Canva. So definitely want to do that. We have another question. How do I hide the calories from clients' meal plan? I already showed you that. And then we're going to finish today with the practice better integration. So I did demonstrate on the previous Q&A session how, what meal plans look like inside of Practice Better. That integration is now available to, it's not an integration, but what we did was we created an offer for meal plans inside of Practice Better, and we're sharing it with you. So you don't have to rebuild the offer. So if you are a Practice Better user and you want to offer Living Plate RX meal plans to your clients, let us know. I think what I'm going to do is just send out an email to everybody with the link. If you're a Practice Better user, the link will be useful to you. If you're not, then it's not going to be useful to you. But it's basically a code that you will use inside of Practice Better to open up this offer. And it is an offer for meal plans that you can give to your clients, you can sell to your clients, and you can also incorporate it into other offers that you're building inside of the EHR. All right, so just wanted to let you know that that is done and that is available. We're just trying to figure out how to roll that out to everybody. I have a question here from Simone. Is there a summary for each plan somewhere that explains what it is? Yes, there is, Simone. So if you go into your library, you're going to go to the Meal Plan Masterclass, and in there you will see a quick guide to the meal plans. So there's a description of all of the different protocols that drive the meal plans. So you can make a decision, like if I'm going to be using the anti-inflammatory meal plan, for example, what does that mean, right? So what does it mean in terms of carbs, proteins, fats, food selection? And then you can modify that accordingly inside of your signature planner. Okay, great. Are there any other questions before we leave today? Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. It was really great to see you all here. This recording will remain on the Facebook page, so you can always go back and reference it. If you have questions as you're watching the recording, please make sure that you tag me, and I will answer your questions as quickly as I can. Aside from that, we are done for today. The coaching call is next week with Karen. I sent out an email. To everybody that has that schedule. So make sure that you keep your eyes open for our weekly email, which comes out Friday. For those of you who are looking for the resource that I'm referring to today, the 8 C's of creating a high converting landing page, go to the website livingplaterx.com and go to the podcast link. We just published this podcast this morning, and there is an opt-in there for you to get the handout, the workbook, basically for creating. It's actually the workbook and a template for creating a high converting landing page. If you're a member of our community, it's going to be in your business tools, but you can go to the website and opt in that way as well to get really, really quick access to that. D. Lorraine, yes, you can absolutely send me an email. That's not a problem. Always happy to answer emails when I can. What a superb session, Jeannie. Thank you so much for your time. Oh, Simone, you're welcome. Again, we're here to support you as best as we can. So make sure that you're vocal and you let us know what you need, and we will respond accordingly. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.